Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Henry here. We're gonna do the week of astrology again. Um, it's now Mercury station direct. Mercury is no longer retrograde, and I felt like you deserved a report that was influenced by Mercury retrograde. So, yeah, guys, I just can't emphasize how much better I feel today. I woke up this morning like, whoa. I can actually think straight and oh, I don't know. I don't know. Something so it just feels way more normal with the whole thinking process. They even started yesterday, of course. Last night, I did my charts for the next couple weeks, and it was amazing how I could just very plainly think through it, just write it down. So, I don't take up too much more of your time if you saw my other video, but we're just gonna do a really simple report just to finish out the month, and then you can expect my new reports to come out on next Monday. So we'll just jump right over to that. All right. So if you saw my previous video, we kind of talked about this week of astrology. It was kind of tying all of the loose ends together, though, and not just a plain and simple report about what's going to happen. So felt kind of weird about that, but man, my thinking since last night, I'm telling you, just has been a lot better. And of course, Mercury direct in his own term, Mercury should be doing pretty good at this point up until Saturday when Mercury leaves his term. So let's just go right into it. So this morning we have a couple more hours before Mercury goes void of course. Mercury or the moon is applying to the trine to Venus. So about noon, 1 o'clock today. So just a sweet, nice, just nice feeling time up until then. Kind of foreshadowing how good it's gonna feel when Venus goes into Pisces. So we got something to look forward to there, for sure. So all right, so the moon is gonna go void of course, and move into Cancer around midnight. Looks like make the connection to the Sun and Uranus. That's really early in the morning, so I don't know if we'll be able to really soak up this energy if you're live in America. But as we go through the rest of the day, the moon's still pretty connected to that. Doing something different. Initiating things. And I want to say that Mercury is moving forward towards Jupiter now. It's not moving towards Saturn anymore, retrograde. So, all this week, I think there's like an opportunity for more communications about, hope for the future, plans for the future, thinking big about how we're going to do things within this new structure that we have to work with. What we want, what we can see, what we can imagine. So, I think it'd be a good time if you in your downtime just like kind of imagine like what you would do if if there weren't any limits, or imagine yourself working with the limits. All right, especially in like whatever area of your house this is in, or whatever area of your chart this is in, whichever house. But anyway, guys, we gotta. I have a mission with this report. So, all right. So it looks like on the Tuesday, moon's still in Cancer. It's in the mid morning that the moon makes the connection to Neptune. So it could get pretty dreamy throughout the day. My mom was asking me, like, what do you mean by dreamy? Like, why do you keep saying that things are going to be so dreamy this next couple weeks? I'm like, well, they're just going to be kind of dreamy. In the Neptune way, you know what I mean? I didn't say it to my mom, but that's what I'm saying to you. As an example, I hope you can kind of pick up what I put down sometimes. I know I don't always entirely describe what I'm talking about, but, you know, very intuitive, watery, picking up on subtle cues. Um, Whatever you're being presented with here, don't get it twisted. And don't be afraid either. Look to God, look to God's wisdom, see through it. So I see we got this opposition to Pluto, probably be the last aspect before it goes void of course here. So an opportunity to get a lot more done these next couple of days, especially with everything moving forward with Mercury. So, all right. So the Moon makes opposition to Pluto, goes void of course, and then by the morning of Wednesday, I believe Wednesday, the Moon goes into Leo. Make sure I'm not missing nothing. No. See, I feel like I was overcomplicating and just trying to do too much with the other report. I feel like I can get this down in 5-10 minutes, and it'll be good. It'll be good for anybody who's needing that. So, all right. So what's the order aspects here? Looks like the Moon makes a square to Uranus, the opposition to Saturn, and in the midst of that, Mars trine Pluto. Exact. So Mars trine Pluto is exact right between these two aspects. It looks pretty intense, but I feel like we'll be wanting to enjoy, fun, having a good time. Some things we want to do. It's just kind of like the further this goes on, the more the Leo mood is going to kind of be, it's making the opposition to Saturn. It's going to be somewhat dampened by the restrictiveness, and because of that, I think people are going to want to break free, be free, enjoying fun, all those things that Leo wants to bring out in our lives. So there could be like a party or like some way of getting together and enjoying, or just making some really dynamic, powerful action in the face of the restrictions in a daring way. I think there'll be a lot of people daring to do things in the face of authorities and restrictions. That's the basic on it. And then on the next day, Venus goes into Pisces. So, yeah, it's another thing. Venus is in the 29th degree during this T-square with the Moon, Mercury, Saturn, and Uranus. So just be careful. Don't go over the top, too excessive, I think. Just be looking out for that on Wednesday. It looks like there could be some possibilities for people really trying to do way too much, maybe. Just be aware of it. So we come to the 25th. The Moon makes the trine to the North Node, sextile South Node, or the other way around, and makes the opposition to Mercury, Jupiter. Looks like Jupiter square Venus in the mundane astrology. So, themes of, Jupiter wants to expand around all of the good things in life, all of the ways we wanted to relate this year that were blocked. Jupiter was in Capricorn, besieged. Venus was in her own house, but the Moon was square to her. So, expanding around all these Venus areas. But I think the theme here is to not let it get too out of hand. It's still tempered by restraint. I know I must sound like a broken record with that, but that's what I end up seeing. So we go through the 25th. Looks pretty fateful. Whatever you're trying to do with this energy, if you couldn't do it on the 24th, it might be a bit easier to do today with just the bigger expansion around Jupiterian themes. Of course, Venus is in her term. The Sun makes a sextile to Uranus. So we're in the mood, we're in the attitude to make some dynamic changes, and the Sun is picking up on that through Uranus. So it's less about personal restrictions and more about connecting to our possibilities in this phase. And then there's let's see, the square to Mars. When does that actually show up? On the 26th, on Friday. So as we get into Friday, the Mars is getting pretty close to the end of the sign too. It's not quite. I don't think we're going to see the extreme Mars themes yet. Maybe not this moon phase. But when Mars approaches that last degree of Taurus, we're going to have to take a special look at that day to see how it's manifesting. So, but we'll come to that next week, I think. Mars goes into Gemini on the 3rd of March, I think. So pretty soon, sooner than we think. It's really going to be this big change to our general working energy and generally how we're doing things. So the moon goes void, of course, after that square to Mars. So we get that Venus, Mars, Moon square. And pretty easy to see what that is, Don't get carried away in your dynamics, your relationship, So the moon will go into Virgo and immediately make the opposition to Venus, because Venus is now in Pisces. And it might not be the sweet sort of beautiful thing that we want to do, but it's the thing that we need to do, and that is clean up the house, clean up your car, clean up whatever thing needs to get clean so that you can move forward, especially in these two areas of your life, Venus and Mars. I think that's really emphasized, just getting it done. Maybe if it's not cleaning up your car, maybe it's cleaning up your life, cleaning up everything that was kind of put on the back burner with Mercury retrograde. Mercury's direct here. The moon is in Mercury's house. It should be pretty easy to get a lot of that stuff done, especially with the trine to Uranus building up all day. We're just going to be able to do a lot of stuff with our material environment. That's it seems kind of at odds to the way we want to do things. And of course the moon is still building light at this point. The full moon is just around the corner. As we get into Saturday, Mercury will leave his term once he reaches the 13th degree, I believe. So Mercury will lose some power and will be, I think he's still in his face. Yeah, he's still in his face until the 20th degree. So Mercury is still going to be pretty good energy until the 20th degree. So, it's a lot of opportunity to use your Mercury function to get some all kind of diligent stuff done, all kind of important, fateful, organizing, detail work can come out, looks like these 2 days. So as we get into the 27th, like I said, there's two interesting transits this day to the mundane astrology. Venus conjunct Mercury of last year, and Mercury conjoin the moon. So topics will go back, we'll go forward in a sense to how things were this year, people in general, sort of feelings, topics about the situations for people in general. With Venus conjoined Mercury, I think we'll be more communicative, more talkative, wanting to share more. And the full moon comes right before the T-square to the nodes. So even though Neptune is no longer making the T-square to the nodes, I think this could get pretty dreamy, if you know what I mean, as the moon opposes Neptune. So watch out for illusions in your path as you're doing all this diligent detail work kind of deal, whatever that is for you. So yeah, looks like, Neptune really still is pretty close enough for it to show up on my chart. So yeah, so watch out for that. We've been through it. This is nothing new really. We know about this T-square with Neptune in the nodes and the moon, but as the moon's light is still really strong at this point. It's almost completely max. Watch out for that dreaminess to take over in a way that you don't want. So we get into the 28th. The moon picks up on this grand trine to a kite aspect with Pluto, Mars, and so that's the grand trine, and then the kite is Neptune. So Neptune might be pulling a little bit more weight behind the scenes than we understand. But definitely there's a huge dynamo for getting it done if you are still trying to do that. And I think a lot of people will be, given how much shutdown, slowdown we had to deal with this month with the cold and all this. It came out in everybody's life in a different way, but there's going to be a good opportunity to get these Mercury themes, these communications, short trips, traveling, diligently working, detail work, organizing. All this stuff can get done with this really sweet background sort of sense going on. And I have here that Venus is connected to the North Node of last year on the 28th. So, I don't know what to say about that other than it sounds pretty nice. We're like, the way we want to relate and find value is connected to generally where we've wanted to go the last year. So if you've been delayed and things showing up in the way that you want them to, or you thought that they could, it might show up more now. It's my impression of that. And then we'll get into, so it looks like a pretty nice day. Moon is void, of course, with some pretty strong energy behind it, so we might be really just using up that energy dynamically. Void, of course, moon can be good or bad depending on the situation, your circumstances, like the literal circumstances. But in general, it looks like pretty steady energy throughout Virgo moon to accomplish these things. So as we get into the end of the Sunday, the moon picks up on, the moon is leaving Mars actually, and it's going to pick up on Saturn. And we'll have this trine to the Aquarius area of life like we did last month. So it'll be a little cold, it'll be a little don't want to say restricted, but we're really doing our best with the structure that we can, as far as the way we want to interface with people and socialize. So you guys, I hope that was interesting. I hope that was helpful. Yeah, I woke up kind of feeling like, I just need to do a basic sort of report, or just a report that's not totally filled up with different mishmash of other stuff, a bit more organized. So I want to put this up. I hope it's helpful. If you needed just a quick report to know what was going to happen between today, the 21st, and the 1st. So I'll come back with the monthly report and the weekly report sometime around those days. I guess I'll see if I can get any of that done before that day. So we got a good election on that Monday for Mercury stuff, but with Mercury moving forward like this, I might do some of that this week while Mercury still has his term. So just gotta be looking out. Well, I hope this is interesting. Hope it's helpful. God bless you, and I hope God will show his favor to you, give you peace, and give you wisdom to go throughout all this. So God bless you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.